Hey guys, this is another video from AnastasiaRuby, and it is a list of like all different styles of names, and you're supposed to pick your favorite boy and girl name for each style. So I'll just jump right in. I did all these last night, and so they're all prepared. The first category is color names, and for a girl, there are a lot of them that I like, but I picked Violet as my favorite. I think it's a really cute name and one that I would consider using. And for boys, there's not a lot of good color names for boys, but I did a little like searching and I found Saffron, which I think is really cool sounding. I don't know that I would actually use it, but I think it's really cool, and I like the F sound. I don't know why. The next category is old-fashioned, and these are I love old-fashioned names in general, so these are two of my like top 3 favorite names, and they are for boys Lawrence and for girls Josephine. And then for classic, I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess the old-fashioned ones I picked might be considered classic as well, but I picked 2 that I thought were a little more classic, and I picked Charlotte and Henry, and I really love both of those names. I've always loved them. I think they're getting a little too popular for my taste now, but I still like those names. The next category is literature names, and I don't read a lot. I used to when I was a kid, but I'm not really into reading all the time now. But my favorites are Jem from To Kill a Mockingbird, and Jem's full name is Jeremy in To Kill a Mockingbird, but I think Jem would also be a really cute nickname for Jeremiah, and there's probably other names you could match it to also. And for a girl, this is kind of more of a guilty pleasure name. It's from Cervantes' Don Quixote, and the name is Dulcinea, and it means sweet, and I just think it's really cute and pretty sounding. So the next category is nature names, and for girls I picked Wren. Even though there are probably a lot of them that I like, I think Wren is really cute, and I love birds. And then for boys, I picked Juniper, and I know a lot of people think of Juniper as a girl's name, but I think it would be really cool for a boy's name, especially with the nickname Perry. So I have liked that one a lot. And I really like kind of creative, different nicknames for full names. The next category is gemstone, and there's a lot of girl gemstone names and not very many boy ones. So I picked emerald for girls because I love emerald. It's my favorite color and favorite stone, and it just sounds pretty. I also like ruby. I think it's cute. And for boys, I picked jasper, which means precious stone in Old Greek. It's also the name of some kind of gemstone or something. So, yeah, I have a cousin named Jasper, and I think it's a cool name. The next category is trendy, and I hate trendy names. I don't even know if the names I picked are actually trendy or not. But I picked Dayla. I actually really love the name Day on its own, but I think with the la on the end, it's kind of like the Kayla, Jayla. I don't know if that's trendy, but whatever. And for boys, I picked Emerson. I've always thought that was a cool name, and I used to like a band named Emerson Drive. That's a country band, and I still like them, but they don't have new songs anymore or anything. The next group is mythology names, and for boys I picked Demetrius, which is from Greek mythology, and for girls I picked Hera, which is Zeus's wife, and I think it's a really pretty name that people don't really use a lot, so I like Hera a lot. The next category is biblical names, and I love a lot of biblical names as well. For boys, I picked Jeremiah. It's one of my favorite names. And for girls, I picked Miriam, which I think is a really cute name. And I love the nickname Miri, or just Mimi is cute too. Next category is Disney names. And I looked through a list of them because a lot of Disney names are kind of common, sort of, or whatever. So I picked Remy for boys, and apparently this is a character from Ratatouille, but I haven't seen that movie, although I have been told it's very good. I should probably see it. But I really like the name Remy. I think it's cute. For girls, I picked Marian, like Maid Marian from Robin Hood. I always loved her character when I was a kid, and I just thought she was really pretty, even though she's fox. But, yeah, I always liked her, and I think Marian is cute. It kind of reminds me of the name Miriam. Then the next category is songs, and for boys, I picked the name Daniel, which is the name of an Elton John song that I really like. I love Elton John. And I think Daniel is a nice classic name. And for girls, I picked Layla, you know, the Eric Clapton song, and that's another great song, and I think Layla is a beautiful name. The next category is flower names, and I mean, flower names are horrible for boys. For girls, I picked Liliana. It's one of my favorite names, again, and I think it's so pretty. And so for boys, I ended up picking Jacinto, which means hyacinth in Spanish. I don't even know how you would say this, like in English, like Jacinto, I don't know. But I think it is kind of cool, but I would only use it if I lived in a Spanish-speaking country, I think. But then I wouldn't, because it would be the name of a flower, and they'd probably think it was girly. So I don't know. Anyway, the next category is holiday. And for girls, I picked Holly, which I think is really cute. I had a friend in high school named Holly. And for boys, I picked Emmanuel. And I don't really know why. I've always really liked this name. I don't know if it'd be totally usable because it has Emma right in it, and Emma is such a common girl's name now, but I do think Emmanuel is a really cool name. For the next category, it's unisex, and I don't like a lot of unisex names, but my favorite one is Shiloh, and I really like Shiloh for both, but for this case, I picked it for girl. And for boys, I picked Kyle. Personally, I wouldn't ever use Kyle for a girl, but I've seen it used for girls, and I think it's getting to be a little more popular, so I counted it as a unisex name. And I have a cousin named Kyle, too, and I've always liked that name. The next one is virtue names, which, again, I'm not a fan of virtue names, but I do really like this one for girls. It's Constance. And part of the reason I like it is because it makes me think of Gossip Girl. They go to Constance Billard. I think it's a really cute name, and she could go by Connie or something. For boys, I picked Justice. I'm not a huge fan of it, but there aren't very many virtue names for boys, so yeah. The next category is short and sweet, and I took that to mean one-syllable names. So, of course, for girls, I picked Day, which I mentioned earlier. And for boys, I have quite a few that I like, but I picked York. I think York is a really cool name. Then the next category is the opposite, long names that have to be 4 syllables or more. And I like long names a lot. For girls, I picked Serafina. And for boys, I picked Alexander. I like names like this because you can make up so many different nicknames, and I just think they sound elegant and pretty. Then number 18, your favorite nickname plus the original name for it. I love like crazy creative, not crazy, but nicknames that you don't look at the full name and not automatically think of this name. But for girls, I picked Gigi for Georgina. And for boys, I picked a little more unusual one. I picked Ro, which would be short for Cicero, which I think is such a cool name. I love the sound of Cicero. I just think it's awesome. The next category is occupational names. My favorite boy's occupational name is Tyler. I do think it's a little common, but I really like the sound of Tyler. And for girls, I don't like a lot of occupational names on girls, but I picked Sailor. I thought that was kind of cute. Don't think I would ever use that name, but I do think it's cute. The next category is celebrity baby names. And I had to look at a list for this too because I just don't really keep up on celebrity baby names a lot. But for girls, I picked Calico, which I think is a really cool name. Like, it's a little unusual, but it's still totally normal sounding. And that is the name of Alice Cooper's daughter. Maybe his wife named her, I don't know, but I wouldn't see him naming his daughter something like that. I think it's a great name, though, and I think Callie is a super cute nickname. And then for the boys, I picked Roman, which is one of my favorite boys' names, and Molly Ringwald has a son named Roman. And the next question is pop culture names. And I just took this to mean like any kind of celebrity, their own name, not their baby's name or whatever. So for boys, I picked Harrison, as in Harrison Ford. It's my brother's middle name, and I really like it. I think it's classic sounding and really cute. And for girls, I picked Miley. I know a lot of you probably won't like Miley. Well, maybe you will. I do think Miley is a super adorable name. I don't think I'd use it because of the association with Miley Cyrus, but I think it's cute. Harrison, on the other hand, I don't think has such a strong association with Harrison Ford. I think it's a little more usable without people thinking of that all the time. Okay, the next category is Harry Potter names. And when I was a kid, I loved Lee Jordan. And so I picked Lee for boys. I think Lee is a great name. I loved the name Lee when I was in middle school. When I was in middle school, some of my friends and I, it's weird, but we had boy nicknames, and we all gave each other nicknames that were boy names, and mine was Lee. Yeah, it was weird. But, and then for the girls for Harry Potter, I picked Bellatrix. You could never use this name now because I think it would be really strongly associated with Harry Potter, and she was a really evil character. But I do think it's such a pretty sounding name, and it would be a great alternative to like Isabella or Isabel. Okay, then the next category is Twilight names, and I don't read or watch Twilight really. Like, I've seen the first movie and a half or something, but I don't really know the names of the characters besides Bella, Edward, and yeah, I forgot the other one's name already. Anyway, the names I picked, I looked on the list, so if these names aren't actually in Twilight, I'm sorry, but someone put them on a list, so I thought they were. For boys, it's Carlisle, which I'm pretty sure is actually in Twilight because I've heard it before. I think it's a really cool sounding name, although I don't like Carl by itself. And for girls, I picked Sasha. This one I'm not really sure if it actually was in Twilight or not, but if you know, tell me, because I guess it doesn't matter. I don't really care, but I think Sasha's a cute name, and it sounds like a sassy little girl to me. Then the last category is Shakespearean names, and both of mine are from the play The Twelfth Night, which I love the movie She's the Man, which is based off of this play. If you guys haven't seen it, you totally should watch it. It's hilarious and cute, and I love Amanda Bynes. She's adorable. And the boy's name I picked is Sebastian. I think it's a cool name. I probably wouldn't use it, but I like it. And the girl's name I picked is Viola or Viola. And I really like that name. It reminds me of Violet, which is one of my favorites. So, if you guys want to do this, I put the list in the description. And I hope you'll check out AnastasiaRuby's answers to them if you haven't already. Maybe that's how you got here. But either way, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.